Hi everybody, welcome back to Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. Okay, to be fair, I only played like not even an hour. Most of the playtime or game time as on my good old games account is because I've been checking recording for the most part. But so I guess I shouldn't be too sad about this yet. We'll get there though. Usual spiel, right? Over 100 videos, easy over 100 videos now of this, but gotta do it. Do not do tips, tricks, guides, walkthroughs, 100%, trophies, achievements, any of that jazz. The whole point, goal, drive, reason I do this is I play video games anyways. I figured why not put it up on the YouTubes. Not because I make money, but just want to have a little spot on the internet there where family and friends can still be haunted by the sound of my voice, no matter where they're at in the world or in life. And also, kind of treat it like you're going over to your buddy's place. Get that nostalgia factor, and when you'd drop on by after work or school, and you just plop down on the couch, hang out for a bit, shut the brain off, and kind of like be live action Beavis and Butthead without Beavis or without Butthead. You pick. Appreciate the 43 subscribers, if more or less. I don't know. Sometimes people unsubscribe. I don't think too many people unsubscribe from my channel yet. It's not. It's not too late. But anyways, I do appreciate y'all, and anyone that just shows up to check out what's going on here. For that, I am sorry. We are playing Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, and even though I've only played for about an hour, it's really coming off as a very, I don't want to say generic, average, okay character action game. It really doesn't have like the depth of Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. Heck, it doesn't even. The comparison I made before was Splatterhouse on the PS3. That has more depth than this game so far. And I feel it's because I have a concern that the tutorial section is going to be the whole game throughout. And we're going to be stuck in monster closets doing not real stealth sections. For me, stealth games are like Tenchu. I consider that one of the pinnacles. Mark of the Ninja. Granted, that's a 2D side-scrolling game, but it's amazing to this day. And of course, Metal Gear Solid. I only played up to 2 of that series. I played the NES games, but yeah. Yeah, one thing I want to point out is this game, for the setting, focuses heavily on, and this is a criticism of Werewolf the Apocalypse for years, is that basically you're playing eco-terrorists or furry Captain Planets. And that's really doing a disservice because the setting was so much more, and games were so much more. Pentex was literally just a small fragment of the Werewolf Apocalypse setting. We're talking like Eldritch Horrors, we're talking like Sons of Anarchy style drama. There was so many facets to Werewolf the Apocalypse, more so than any of their other systems, whether it was Vampire, Wraith, Mummy, Mage. Mage is bonkers as all heck, though. To be fair, like the thing with that is that just the whole magical backlash and stuff. Paradox, I think it was called. But yeah, it was such a minor part. It was the worm was the biggest aspect of it, and Pentex was just a small footprint. Yet it seems every time Werewolf the Apocalypse either gets brought up or is trying to be presented, it's eco-terrorism, which is why I kind of liked Heart of Gaia, which was one of the first Werewolf games that was in production. it seemed to lean more heavily on the war against the worm rather than just focusing on Pentex, as this game is looking to do. Which is fine. Pentex is a hilarious, I guess, self-reflective look on, a darker twinge on society and corporations. It's always been kind of World of Darkness's niche. It's just like a darker version of the real world that they play on. But I'm here to dispel the myths. No, Werewolf the Apocalypse isn't and should not just be reduced to being furry Captain Planets. That's not what they are. I mean, even the tribes themselves are very different in that regard. So I think it's the difference between people who maybe didn't necessarily play the Warhammer, Werewolf the Apocalypse RPG on the tabletop, and more people who maybe spent some time looking on the internet. Now, again, the thing about tabletop RPGs is you got these books with all this stuff in it, and you can play your game however you want. You want to play a furry Captain Planet, tackles, ecological issues, and make that the focus, you can. But there was so much more into it. There was it the Weaver with DNA? That's their Pentex equivalent company, where they literally worked on creating the genetically created werewolves, basically. Fake werewolves. You've got the whole angle of skinwalkers. Not skinwalkers, what are they called? I have to pull out some of the books. It's been so long since I've held the game. But basically, kinfolk who are family to werewolves who carry the same spiritual gene, but they can't transform, so they're really in a screwed position. They would hunt and skin werewolves and then perform a rite, which like a ritual that would allow them to basically become Guru or werewolves. And obviously they were very much worm corrupted. But there's so many angles to this. I mean, like Nexus crawlers, reality warping monstrosities that you'd read about maybe in like a Lovecraft story. You had Albrecht, and you can go full Grendel. There's stories about heroism, there's stories about, and more importantly, the thing that gets glossed over, more so than the other settings in World of Darkness, is the Guru or werewolves are losing the war against the worm. It isn't necessarily they have a chance of winning. They're screwed. Is there any kind of, it's like a heroic tragedy tale. But I'll quit grumbling about my hang-ups about, and it's not necessarily these, the developers or anything. It's something I frequently have seen over the many, many, many years of internet discourse about reducing the Werewolf the Apocalypse setting to, honestly, again, just the smallest part of what the game system was about. Alright. I've kind of blabbered on just to try to avoid doing this, but it's because the gameplay isn't, it's functional, it's just not as engaging. And my concern again is what we saw in the tutorial is just going to be that. It's going to be room after room doing the same thing. I don't even know why they added dialogue options if the dialogue really doesn't matter. Then again, from all of the research I did previously to this game coming out back in like 20, I think I said 15, 16, or 17 because I'm old. I haven't gone to check my Steam forum posts when I used to post on the Bloodlines board about articles and stuff I found digging up on this. It was going to be a very different game. It felt more like it was going to be a Legend of Zelda style Breath of the Wild with choice and consequence dialogue options. So I feel like there's a lot of ideas that they started with on a different game and then they just kind of somewhere during development shifted gears to create this. I have nothing to substantiate this. This is just all my theory crafting. It's our little spirit thing. I still have zero ideas what that does. It says it's gonna help, but if I'm a bit of a Debbie Downer or whatever term you want to use, it's just because of how much I do enjoy the setting of Werewolf the Apocalypse. At least pretty much everything before Werewolf 5th edition, because that looks like it's just going to be a major mess up. Alright. Can I jump over this? Might be able to drop down here.
Inventory checks for next month.
Do these guys just stand where they're at forever, or do they do patrols? You know. Looks like you chose the wrong pilot to crash. Alright, I performed 15 stealth kills. And they're not even that killy. I don't think there's anything. There's like, and these rooms are so empty. Why are they so empty? There is a lack of environmental interactions. To highlight again some of the disappointment I have is some of the earlier stuff I found was they used an example of talking to a waterfall spirit, because Werewolf draws heavily with the interaction between the guru and animism-like aspects. So, oh wow, is it sticking out the other end of the wall? I'm kind of curious. No, just kind of in there. Oh, maybe. Hold on, we have a window here that might help. Yeah, it doesn't reach. Yeah. What happens if we transform here? Okay, he just... apparently
inside.
interacting with the waterfall spirit was meant to have different options based upon how you approached it, and it would end up giving you different rewards. So it would kind of play more like a Deus Ex. I think that's kind of an original idea that they had going for this. Ah, crap. Sorry, folks. I'll be right back. I know I've spent more time talking than playing. I'll get them playing, I promise. Okay, I didn't really look at this. I mean, I glossed over it, but... Part of my disappointment also with this game existing is it just means that there's less of a chance of there ever being another Werewolf the Apocalypse game, or a more RPG focused one. And even still, because of the time that we're in now, because they won't draw inspiration from Werewolf the Apocalypse, they'll draw inspiration from whatever 5th edition is, which is not. It's fundamentally a very different game, using the corpse of Werewolf the Apocalypse. Kind of like the Skinwalkers. Spare me this mockery of justice. So ideally, I think what I would have done here was instead, I mean, if you're really going to restrict yourself to just 3 forms, 3 different trees, instead of trying to force players to use all 3 forms, of which Krynos is the only one for combat, and it's only at certain sections, and that's kind of forcing players to play ways that they wouldn't want to because it's not their preferred style. They should have made it so that the game could be played 3 different ways. I'm going to probably need that. Because this skill tree is just very anemic. Alright, so
Endrin reached out to me, you know. They're hiring and the pay's pretty good.
I'm sure it is. They're going toe-to-toe with a group of activists right now. Lambda mankind. If I were you, I'd stay here. Keep your head down.
Look at this lack of interactions. Anyways, yeah, there is 13 tribes, right? So I'll kind of talk about that stuff while I'm doing this. And again, if it seems kind of stuttery or stilted in my talking, it's because now I get why people do edit their videos, because it's hard to play and talk at the same time. You know, it's that whole thing, people are like, oh, I can do 2 things at once. It's like, not really, you just kind of split your attention by microseconds or milliseconds, back and forth. Alright. But the 13 tribes, you got Children of Gaia, which are your peacenik hippie types. I never liked them. I don't think White Wolf even knew really how to handle them too well. Kind of felt like they were meant to be the mediators, but they really leaned heavily into the whole hippie drug culture. Got Black Furies, which are your raging, angry feminist types who would sacrifice any male children they got outside of their metis. Sometimes they would take any male children that they would produce, or male offspring, and send them off to other tribes. They were more closely related to the wild, considered the defenders of certain cairns or holy sites to the werewolves. Influenced very heavily by the Amazons in Greek myth. Bonars, which were one of the best. They were your downtrodden, your poor, your hobos, your low-class people who they knew the pulse of society from the bottom. A lot of times people think if you're at the top you know more, but it's really the scuttlebutt, and the people in the know are the ones who are down at the bottom. You get a lot of monkey wrenchers with them, infiltrating Pentex and other corporations via being janitors and whatnot. Glass walkers were if you wanted to play a werewolf that could also dabble in cybernetics, they were the ones most closely to being human, and kind of part of their struggle was they would abandon the wolf a little bit too much. You'd find them using technology. They believe that trying to understand and honestly fight against the Weaver was the right way to go about it. They also have a lot of interaction with vampires in the setting because they would occupy a lot of the same space in cities, the higher echelons of society and whatnot. Your Silver Fangs were like your inbred incest leaders of the Guru Nation. They were once glorious, but they're on the downturn because of a lot of inbreeding and just how they handle a lot of things in the history, such as like the Impergium, the War of Rage, which is where they Guru or the werewolves started just murdering all the other Pharaoh because they said we can do your jobs better, and then guess what happened? They didn't, because the Guru were created by Gaia to be the warriors, whereas you had like the Kamazots, which were werebats out of South America, who were the messengers, just like the Koraks, which were were-ravens, were the messengers, but one was during day, one night. You had wereboars, I can't remember their name. They were about tilling up the land and removing corruption that the worm would cause to keep it healthy. It's kind of like controlled burns in the forest service work. You had Silent Striders, which were heavily influenced by Egypt. They were predominantly out of Egypt. Got in a war with the vampires way back in the day, and then they got cursed to never be able to set foot in their homeland again or contact their ancestor spirits. So they were messengers in the Guru tribe. They would pass along.
You hear the new entrant announcement
from sep to
about
sep.
the new biofuel? They say they're going green by the end of the year.
The only thing green about that fuel's the label. It's the same shit with new branding.
Yeah,
A
basically.
marketing stunt.
Red Talons were a tribe predominantly made up of lupus, which are Guru born between a werewolf and a wolf. And they were all about saying we didn't take the Impergium far enough, and the Impergium was this point in the history of the World of Darkness where the werewolves were saying the solution to saving Gaia is to cull humanity down and keep the population under control. They were one of my favorites as well. You had 3 tribes, but only 2 that are still around by this point in time, of pulling from a lot of the Native American tribal groups. The Wendigo, who were very angry Native Americans, basically, who were very bitter at what the European guru did when they came on over. The Akatina were the Bane tenders, basically. Banes being evil or corrupted spirits. And they would, instead of destroying Banes that they couldn't defeat, they would end up trapping them under certain sites and keep an eye on them, be wardens essentially, and gathering occult knowledge. Shadow Lords, generally depicted as being the seconds. They were all about skullduggery, using politics. They also had like the Silent Striders, had a certain history with the vampires in the setting. They were my favorite overall. Wait. Okay, now you want me to go over here. Oh, the elevator went up. It didn't really feel like it went up. You have the Fianna, who Cahal is, who we're playing as,
They're not running
which
the
I
most
touched on
attractive
in the
operation
first
here.
video.
I mean, they're pumping out weapons for endgame, not selling timeshares. Looks probably aren't their priority.
And I'm just giving a very brief, glossy overview of all these tribes, by the way. There's a lot more depth and nuance and characteristics, and they're not all just stereotypes. The stereotypes in the books they use are just a way for people to get a rough idea. But let's see, let's go over. I talked about the Bonars, Fianna in the last video, Shadow Lords, Silverfangs, Bonars, Black Furies, Akatina, Wendigo, Red Talons, Glasswalkers, Red Talons, Akatina, Wendigo, Bonars, Shadow Lords, Silverfangs, Fianna, Children of Gaia, Silent Striders, what am I missing? I can't keep track. God, getting old sucks. I guess I'll finish with Get a Fenris. The Get a Fenris warrior, if you wanted to play a metal, big, angry werewolf that was a meritocracy based on only the strongest, because they're warriors first, and that's what Gaia needs, is for the guru to fulfill that warrior niche again and solely focus on that. That is the Get a Fenris. They're heavily influenced by Scandinavian Viking werewolves, basically, right? That is also a very popular tribe. That game, Games Workshop. Oh, wow, I didn't... That's kind of neat. Is this a thing? Maybe there's some around. Doesn't look like it. I think I just did that. They're very popular. Even if White Wolf apparently doesn't like them, which is why 5th edition has kind of thrown them to the wayside. I talked about the Black Spiral Dancers, who were the White Howlers, but they got corrupted so long ago, like medieval ages.
I made it to the delivery bay.
Good. See that command post next to the gate?
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to open things up for me from there.
Alright. So I touched on the Guru. Touch on now the other Farah, or the Bait, I think. B-E-T-E, Bet. There's like a little greater than, less than symbol flipped onto a top to bottom instead of left to right over the E. Not sure of the pronunciation. So I do apologize for my mispronunciation of things. But yeah, the Nuisha, which were were-coyotes, they were the laughter of Gaia. They were meant to kind of humble the others, the other were-changers, so that they would have humor to teach them lessons. They were the tricksters, like in mythologies. The ones that you learned by being humbled. Koraks, I already talked about. They were were-ravens that were the messengers of Gaia. The Mokole, who were the memory, they were like your were-alligators, Gila monsters. And their battle forms were basically like these weird dragon dinosaur hybrid things. You had your Bastet, which was the culmination of different cat groups such as lions, pumas, leopards, cheetahs, lynxes, the Celica, which were kind of like large house cats. You had your Ananasi, which were were-spiders. They kind of weren't really Gaia so much as they were also Weaver. And oh, so you can't even go into combat as soon as you... See, that's the thing I don't like. You're forced to play sections. The same 3 modes. And even then, 2 of those modes, Human and Lupus, are the same. It's just pure stealth, so it's stealth. But you're only allowed to do combat in specific combat sections. This reminds me a lot of the Tenchu game for Wii and 360, I think that came out, where you were kind of only pigeonholed to doing certain sections in certain ways.
I made it to the delivery bay.
Good. See that command post next to the gate? You should be able to open things up for me from there.
Alright, you had, let's see, I said Ananasi. You had talked about the wereboars, I forgot their names. There was ones, I think they were called like the Apis. They were werebulls, basically minotaurs. Something about fertility. They came a bit later in some of the newer stuff. The Changing Breeds book that came out post-revised. Or, I'm sorry, not revised, Werewolf 20, around there. You had the Ratkin, which were about controlling, essentially controlling the human population, keeping it under wraps. They were always a fun one to play. Ratkin. You had the Rokea, who were some of my favorite, the Weresharks. So if you ever wanted to live out your... Let's see how well the detection is. Your street shark fantasies. You had your Kitsune or Kitsune, who were foxes. They were part of the beast courts. Your eastern shape changers, which have a whole different structure compared to their western counterparts. Yeah, that works. For some reason, I just feel safer being in Lupus. I have to pull out some of my old books and re-up my knowledge on everything, because I am rusty. It's been a long time since I've actually hosted a game. I used to do a lot of games on Skype with random people. As my health started to decline, I kind of started taking a backseat to that. Well, why can't I interact with this yet? It looks like it wants me to go in there, but I can't go in there yet. There's those 3 and then those 2. But, man, imagine if this, like... Alpha Protocol is what I was hoping for. A Werewolf the Apocalypse Alpha Protocol game. That should have been the basis. Shut that door. I don't... Again, it's... Yeah. They have all these markers telling you where to go. And the patrol patterns are very simplistic. Enemy variety seems very low. Every human seems the same, like they're all human types, especially in the stealth sections. Maybe it'll open up more. Maybe I'm being a little too critical early on, but again, because of my enjoyment of the original property.
Slap on this fancy new delivery label. Got it?
That's the only reason I'm as critical as I am.
Hey, you in the truck. What are you doing? I'm just here for a pickup, man. Pickup? What are you talking about?
No, one of them has a name, Dusk.
Well, check it again. I gotta be on there. You really think I'd drive all the way out to the ass end of nowhere if I didn't have a pickup?
Oh, and you have your werebears. How could I forget the girl or whatever they're called, I think.
Knock yourself out.
They were like your healers. They could be extremely nasty in combat. I mean, all your were creatures are threatening in combat for the most part. Alright, and yeah, let's talk a bit about... What are those blue things? See, I wish there was also like a zoom, but there really isn't. Also, now the left trigger does not switch camera perspective. Which is weird. So, the war between vampires and werewolves in the setting of the World of Darkness. It is highly antagonistic because all vampires give off some what's called taint of the worm. Taint. Not that type of taint. Corruption. Because they're unnatural to the order of life. Outside of, I'm trying to think. What were they called? Golconda? I think vampires who reached Golconda. I'm extremely rusty on Vampire the Masquerade stuff, but basically they've kind of purged the evil in the what I think they call the beast in them, and maybe they would be considered clean, but I mean that'd probably be even more unnerving for a werewolf or a guru to deal with than a regular vampire. Back to the Rokea real quick. The were-sharks. Funny, I doubt you'll see any of the other Farah in this game, but in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, there's a mission where you go to a fishing warehouse where you run into a Shi, which are basically like hobo monster hunters that kick major ass. And there you fight a hammerhead Rokea. I always found that to be a neat little like Easter egg thing. And it's something I think people miss. It's a very easily missed quest, if I remember. Again, why can't I go in here? Oh, I also wanted to test this out. Let's see what this says. Does it do anything?
I saw something.
Okay. So that does do something. What? Game over. That wasn't even like a, oh, wait. That was just a quick, nope, not allowed. And I feel bad because I feel that's going to be a lot of this game. Nope, can't do that. That's Werewolf, the Apocalypse, subtitled, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that.
According to the intel we received, the crates of explosives should be stored around here.
It is still early in the game, though, right? Can they see me? It's a big group of them. Crossword puzzle. What's that called? Calicrisps. Look at that old monitor and desktop, man. And it's seen better days, look at that. I'm not a fan. Haha. Like, why isn't there things to pick up, you know? I mean, there's darts, but I really wish. I'm like, why can't you pick up guns? It's not uncommon for Guru to use guns. It's highly ineffective because their war form is just so goddamn powerful. That's kind of one of the things with the power creep in the setting. You're a pack of low-level werewolves, low rank, can shred through large groups of vampires, even low generation vampires. That's why in the setting a lot of times vampires say don't go in the woods.
Alright, Dusk. The delivery label's been switched.
Because one-on-one, completely outmatched.
Wait.
One Guru is even enough for
I
a,
smell
if
something.
you remember Bloodlines,
Give me a
that
minute to
werewolf
check it
encounter.
out.
One werewolf is more than enough of a challenge for even low generation vampires. So it's just silver. And I'm guessing that tentacle mess on the right shows us which one can change into a Fomori, which again, some Fomori can change between human and their Fomori form, but for the most part, once you're a Fomori, you're stuck looking like a Fomori. Keep around one side for the moment the client has paid the boss airloads or nothing can be learned when the voice is paid.
I knew I smelled it. Silver. Whoever ordered this intends to kill Garu.
There we go.
Dusk. They're shipping out
Finally
silver
said-
bullets.
Finally
You
said
know
the
what
word.
that means.
Change
Yeah,
plans.
I've got motorcycle
Change of plans.
riding gloves like
I need to find out who's buying these bullets and why. Buy me some more time.
that. And Garu have a silver allergy, basically. Whereas some of the other Farah have gold. Then you get some like the Mokole. I think they have both, if I remember. Alright, so that's now green, which means I can use it. That's red, that means I can't. Alright. Why give me the option to open that door if it's not smart to go through there? Also, I still haven't found one of those spirits. Apparently you get spirits by collecting them from nature and plants and stuff, but we still haven't seen anything on that. No, this is very clearly
So, who's the lady the boss is meeting with upstairs?
She's from Endron.
On
here for the
rails.
special order.
The silver bullets. Who even uses that shit? Is she picking up some golden guns while she's at it?
You know what they say? The client is king, especially when the client's name is Endron.
There's a neat little blurb in one of the books for the Beast Courts, the Hingeoki book. Well, it's not in that. It's in actually one called Demon Hunters, which is a source book for Kindred of the East Equation. And it's about a faction called Strike Force Zero, which is basically Men in Black in the World of Darkness setting. Except they deal with supernaturals, and there was an encounter where they captured a Tengu, which is the Beast Court's version of the Korax, which are the Were-Ravens. And after they captured the Tengu, one of the Strike Force Zero operatives accidentally brushes his golden ring against the Korax. One sec. Alright, sorry about that. But he runs his gold ring across the core axe and finds that it burns him. I'll quit yammering, I'll play more. I just really enjoyed the setting. Oh, wow. I don't know if this is a side thing. Are they trying to say this is just an alternate path I could take to sneak around? Okay. So see, like, you don't even... It's not even like an option. That's just... It's not even an illusion of choice.
Shipment's loaded. How are things on your end?
Shouldn't be much longer.
Alright, I'm gonna play for about an hour and then probably call it. People around here are getting a little too antsy.
You were supposed to have delivered the ammunition 1 week ago. 1 week. Endrin doesn't like waiting.
Oh, paying, clearly. You're not getting anything until Endrin is paid up. You can tell that to your President Watkins in person.
I don't think you understand what's at stake here.
Oh, I understand that you've just been attacked and you're looking to hit back. I also understand that you need our ammunition to do that. And we've got that ammunition right downstairs, ready and waiting to go as soon as you've paid us. Sorry, Major, but business is business.
Well, fuck you two. Then we'll attack Tarker's mill without your help. And rest assured, Mr. Watkins will hear about this.
Tarker's mill. Hey.
That was weird. Okay, so we stealth through this
You
whole
and I
thing.
need to talk.
Who are you? How'd you get in?
I'm asking the questions. Who are you talking to? The woman. And what's this attack on Tarker's mill?
I'm calling security.
Now, die. Bollocks. Security, alert!
Alright. That seems really disappointing.
Send more men!
Just not. It doesn't feel rewarding. Combos.
Tarker's mill. My old cairn. Adana. I have to go back.
Alright. I'm getting experience during missions or finding true spirits and unlock new abilities. Okay. It just feels very... doesn't feel as complex as it should be. Especially for a combat-oriented game. That one. Alright, you have to hold down the button. Can you sense further? There's a wolf at least? That would have been neat. I guess not. We're not allowed to.
Dusk.
What the fuck are you doing, Cahal? I just had to pop a couple guards who wanted to put a bullet in my head. Get the fuck back here already.
Sorry, but I didn't have a choice. Keep the engine running. We're out of here as soon as I get back.
Alright, his flasks. Makes him more enraged. Collect spirits to improve skills. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. Literally little flower pots that are sitting like on a bench. It's locked. Got at least 2 silver. There's another one. I don't need crossbow bolts. Here's another one. That'll open. What's this? What's this gonna do? Let's turn the camera off. I thought I saw in the tutorial you can like disable those gates so that you don't have reinforcements going through, but I don't see like an option. Like, what is this?
The alarm went
Here
off
we
in the
go.
boss's office.
You can
but I'm not getting
sabotage
any
it.
response from that
You can
sector.
wound it.
Take your positions, people. Maximum alert until the situation's clear.
Okay, so enrage, I guess, means I can initiate combat right now.
Take it out, quick!
Stay on your guard.
Yep, this is happening, folks.
Let's make over.
You can see me now. Huh? Look at this. Look at what's happening. They see me. They know where I'm at. He's shooting. He ain't hitting me, though. I am in a safe spot. Look at this situation. I've taken down, what, 5 of them already? Oh my god. Is there really even any need to do anything other than...
So much for the stealthy approach.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered, really, whether or not it was stealthy. Maybe it did. Maybe you could stealth them all, but what's the reward for it? What's the benefit? Does it change anything? I don't think it will. You know. Yeah, see, I guess I could have used that, but again, what's the reward? What's the difference? You get benefits? Does it change outcomes? Does it... I just ain't seeing it. It's gonna be locked, right? No, it's not. Fair enough. Alright, we can upgrade something else. I don't foresee the combat getting much better, so let's do everything we can to try and make it the gameplay a bit more interesting. I think this will help. 2 additional bolts. No, it wasn't that. Alright, let's go back in here, I think. Maybe there's a... Where were the crossbow bolts? Were there any? Like, I like the... there are so many different ideas that could be interesting to use for, say, potential. Like, if this was a open world game, more so, using the wolf form to traverse longer distances, or even allowing the wolf form to have access to the Umbra if they really wanted to not care much about the setting in the lore, you know, and make it you can only cross over as a wolf. That would have added so much more to it. But instead, this is what we're stuck with. Alright, we got some silver. And yeah. I could sabotage, but let's do this first. Since none of these jabronis want to turn around. I mean, this is just free real estate, right? I'm just going here and I wait for him to walk back. Right. Is he even coming up here? I don't think he's even coming up here.
Heads up! Looks like we've got company.
I mean, at least we're looking around, right? Ooh, this isn't good. Look at them, they're all just running around. Now, do they reset or are they alerted permanent? That's the question. Okay, it looks like they start cooling down.
Loose wolf.
That it? Alright, again, like if there was a reason to be stealthy, like if you get bonuses, but I'm not seeing it yet. I'll go in there first, or in here first, and then I'll check the elevator. Again, I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, here's a secret. It's just gonna be, you could have done this. Like, yeah, I could have. Didn't want to though. Alright, that brings me the way I want to go. Let's see where this elevator takes us. That room takes us back, right? Yeah, the flower pot. Oh, this brings us back here. Well, then where does this bring us to? Why would you even... Why even give the option to go back here? Oh. So it's less exploration, and I'm going to assume that they wanted more, but... here. Locked. Okay. So pigeonholed. Again, I'm not seeing. Like if I take him down there, you can see me. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I take him down, they'll see me, right? those two next. This is just the area I've already traversed. Yeah, I see those are silver, but you can't really interact with them or something. If I go for that guy, they're gonna see me for sure.
Must have been dreaming. You can't hide from me.
Okay. So let's see. Do we get anything by doing this? I'm gonna try and do it stealthy.
Him hurt.
Stay alert. Don't let him get away. Can't do it in here.
Be ready for anything.
Go back in the vent. Wait for the next jabroni to kind of come over. I'm sure there's probably an achievement for doing it without being caught at all. But this is the best I'm gonna do with this for now.
Spread out!
Alright, technically that was stealthy. Maybe I'll try and do a like complete stealth at some part, but so we are backtracking. There are bolts. I could have sworn there were bolts in one of these rooms. I couldn't pick up because I was already full. Okay. That's that.
Where are we headed?
Tarker's Mill.
Washington State Forest. Cahal discovered that Endron, a global energy corporation, was about to launch an attack against his cairn, putting an end to a 5-year exile. The Fianna warrior returns to his former home, fearing for his tribe and for his daughter, Adana. Werewolves are creatures born of wolfman spirit. They call themselves Guru and serve Gaia, nature incarnate. That is true.
We're too late. Engine is already here. What do we do? Stop the truck. What's even down there? My home. Dusk, stay out of this. Wait! Call!
Rodko! Rodko, they've cleared our northern line. They have an exo.
We'll take care of the wounded later. We have to stop them.
Let's go! Move!
Alright, Albert woman.
Over there!
I guess they were fans of Avatar, huh?
Right.
So something the game's also missing is the Guru have a multitude of things called gifts. Gifts are things that spirits can teach. They're like magic, special abilities.
You'll regret that.
But I guess to make this seem more even and not needing to put in a lot of effort to translate over the tabletop, because it is a complex system. There's a lot of moving parts that just kind of remove that aspect of it. Even though it's a huge aspect of the setting.
Tell me, where's Adana? Don't worry, Cahal. Your daughter didn't fight this battle.
How are your wounds?
Riddled with silver. They'll take days to heal. But things would have been far worse if you hadn't stepped in.
I just did what I had to do. Nothing more. I honestly never thought I'd see your face again. Why'd you come back, Cahal? I heard that the cairn was going to be attacked. I was afraid for you. For Adana. And how did you hear that? I overheard Endron talking about it on my last job. I may have left Tarker's Mill, but I never turned my back on it. I couldn't just abandon you. You found it easy enough 5 years ago. Your cairn and your daughter have always needed you. I tried to tell you that. Where is she, Rodko? With Ava. Working undercover at the biggest Endron site in the Pacific Northwest. The best option available to us after the failure of our last mission. Your last mission? What do you mean? You remember the old abandoned mine not far from here? Endron bought it and turned it into a training center for their new recruits. I launched an attack to wipe them out, but Tank Girl stopped us. The woman you saw in the exit during the attack, she drove us back. Tank Girl, you call her. I encountered her during my last mission. She was trying to buy silver bullets from an arms dealer.
Some weird
That's where I learned she was planning an attack on the cairn. Major Grainer. That's the name her men give her. But to us, she's Tank Girl.
Alright.
And she leads Endron's troops with about as much grace. Their attack on the cairn was their first wave of revenge for our attack on the training center. We managed to repel them this time, but it's only a temporary victory. They might return at any moment. And Endron just keeps recruiting soldiers. Then we've got to go back to the mine and destroy their training center. It's the only way to buy the cairn any sort of safety. No matter how brief. Go back? No. Not until I'm well again. Then we can strike. I'll take care of that goddamn training center myself. You know I can handle it on my own. No. You're no longer a part of this pack.
Yeah, why ask him for permission if you're running anyway?
And how long will it take for you to get there? Days? Weeks? If they return, the cairn will fall.
It's almost as if, you know, werewolves also have rights and gifts that they can use to heal quicker. Because, you know, they're fighting a...
We'll talk about the mine.
Alright. Let's see.
My son. They killed my son.
He's lost a lot of blood. I don't know if he'll make it through the night.
Activist woman.
Has anyone
that's your
told his wife
name.
yet?
That's your title. And you're just
gone.
activist.
She bled out
Not
just
even
before they
activist,
shot him.
man. You're just activist. Ugh. Oy vey. Rocco, we can't make any progress on the biofuel. Endron owns exclusive patent composition. It's held secret within the company. Nobody in Nadina's team has information. You'll have to go from lab servers, but place it under high security. And can't go there without the risk of her being detected. And I can't help her. We have to find a way of getting her hands on that data. Ava.
This letter must have been sent just before the attack on the cairn. Now we're talking.
Oof. Again. Oof.
I'll make good use of that.
Oh yeah. Wait, can I keep... Oh, okay, so... Yeah, sounds good. What is that, whiskey? Like Crown Royal ripoff? Yeah. Irony of using Pentex liquor to... Oh, man. I don't know, there's just some design decisions. Dana's managed to get hired by Endron at Tarker's Mill fracking site. As expected, her academic background allowed her to be selected by Endron. She'll also learn more about their biofuel, working with blah, 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 something. Yeah.
This is only a few months old.
What was that? That was blocking. Look at that. But then I can walk over it here. Jeez. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anything in here? those also give off something. Rocco came to talk to me. He's coming around seeing things. Spoke a lot about mom and dad too, but I left and never want to hear about him again. Going back to school and to study biology and chemistry. Everything makes a guy originates from there. Ava is very happy. Okay, whatever.
That was 2 years ago now.
I had an argument with Rocco he didn't want to understand, but I'll never train with him again. It's over now. Ava is teaching me. She shares all her computing knowledge. Maybe we should teach her a lesson from mom about infiltration techniques and her philosophy about the place that humans will have in our fight. Ava would like me to go back to school. Yeah, sure.
Your mother would have been so proud.
Training Rocco's putting through his heart. It's torture. Up dawn, an hour's run with the bike. Sound back, strength exercise, 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. It's nice. Makes it seems like they're those end of the world prepper types. Jeez. Sorry again, too hard. I don't want to do it. Trains create warriors. Blah, blah, blah.
Millie used to say the same thing.
Most of this writing is very poor. I've been up waiting for my dad like a master sure now. He just made me
following in her mother's footsteps.
Feels like that episode of South Park. Dum 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 dum.
Hello, Cahal.
Hi, kinfolk woman. Let's go find the character named Kinfolk. Are you named Kinfolk? Indron favors DES encryption and screen of its network. It's possible to attack mother frequency analysis. Humans have 7
Old notes from Ava before she created Lambda Mankind. My Irish brethren. But that was a lifetime ago.
How many did you lose?
Cahal, I'm glad you're back.
Well, at least you have a name.
And we lost a lot of good people today. We're lucky it wasn't worse.
That guy.
But with half our survivors wounded, another attack would be the end of us.
It looked like they've seen better days. God. Alright, is there anything else you guys want to say, or no? I don't know why the Umbra Vision doesn't stay on. That's going to probably open up, right? It's going to do one of those cinematics where the roots kind of pull in. Howdy, partner. Oh, can I drink more than my fair share? No. Raise already maximum. Okay.
Hey, Cahal. It's good to see your face.
You're just called Kinfolk. You don't get a name.
The Cairn is in a bad way.
I don't know why they didn't just give them like names like Bill, Tall, Ted.
Dusk, what are you doing here?
Or Dusk.
I thought I told you to keep clear.
You really thought I'd leave you behind like that? You should know me better than that by now. Besides, looks like you need all the help you can get. And I really don't want to lose my front row tickets to the Cahal show.
Thanks, Dusk.
Okay, yeah, no. Thanks sounds real weird coming out of you. Put that shit away.
Well, if you really want to help.
I'll go look after the injured. I rang the weather stormers and asked them to lend us a hand, too. Don't worry about me. You just do what you gotta do.
Big old creek. What about you? Man, you look like you're ready for something. Or you look like you're just trying to keep busy so people don't bother you and ask you questions. Alright, so I'm wondering if this is going to be like a hub, and then each section that we're going to go off into is going to open up one of these. That's my guess.
Good to see you made it through okay.
Thanks in no small part to you. I'm glad you came back, Cahal.
They really
Lambda
like denim.
Mankind really helped us out too. We're lucky to have them with us.
Those checkered shirts. Alright. Milla, I got your letter. You're gonna send. Come talking to us. This sort of something. No, thanks. Tell me the pack leader.
It's true. Rotko did change when he became pack leader.
Oh, thank you. I've had much time since Diana was born. I don't want to feel so bad. A lot has changed. My marriage to Cahal. I know that your duty's a pack leader, but I want you to know that I'm proud of what you're doing for the pack at Tarker's Mill.
Adana was only a few days old when Ludmilla wrote this letter.
Again, it's just weird to me that they had him talk out loud. Usually you think this stuff in your head, but he didn't have to have the lips move.
Those bastards. Kitamona. How could they? Silver. That's what killed her. They had 3 snipers trained on her. She never had a chance.
Oh, yeah, she wasn't very good. Alright, I thought I saw something. That little white circle to interact with. No? Was that just in my head? Probably in my head.
Magnus didn't even know how to fight. He was a spirit healer, a caretaker of children.
Endrin doesn't show anyone mercy, and we won't either.
Keep an eye out. We may have pushed them back, but who knows what they're capable of. Rodko's counting on us. Ceres? But how? She was in the back, tending to the wounded.
It's all my fault. They had a sniper. I just couldn't take him out in time.
I can do that too. Oh, hey. See, didn't you saw, right? Okay. So, maybe only in a certain vision mode. So I don't get. Alright, there's gotta be a little circle up there. I saw it. Seems kind of antsy too. Like, what was that? There's something over there. I don't like how the vision mode is just real wonky with how it, like, I think as soon as you move, you get out of it, right? Yeah. It's no bueno. It requires you to stop, look around. Even then, it seems like you have to be within a certain distance. See, like that. I'm very comfortable with words. When I need to talk to you, I'm free from those accounts. He just left. He left the pack. I told him to stay. To take his place. Was here. He didn't listen. He left. The Dean didn't care. I thought it was dangerous for her. Trying to train dog. I should never on that mission. I'll remember myself. Okay.
Rodko must have written this when he lost his sister.
That's it. That's all I was down here, huh? What about in here? This looks like a thing where there'd be something in here, right? Oh, there's a little spirit guy.
The worm's influence grows even stronger.
Little wildling thing. Alright. Thank you for that explanation. Can I go in here? No. You want me to go that way? Anyone that's watched any of my stuff for any length of time knows. I go every way but. Every way but. Arr, okay. Nothing. Okay. That's that way. that. But worm is part of the trap through forces control, creation, destruction. It was forced to balance, but now runs amok. Where its purpose was once to destroy the old and make way for the new. Perverts and destroys. Fight the manifestation worm. One tribe is given to the corruptor, which one? White Owls, man. Their name, their value. Yeah, that was like back in the medieval ages, so. I guess they're still talking about it. And they have to still talk about it for.
They killed Leandra? But she was pregnant.
They knew it too. The fuckers laughed about it as they did it.
What about Xander, her husband?
He saw it happen, and they shot him right after.
Woman. That's still funny to me. Names of the final play roles, bards and guardians of traditions, and interested in the history, but in the history of all the tribes. Some ways consider themselves the guardians of all culture, guru, glorify war, must fight, sing, thirst. Equal.
Bards. Gotta be kidding.
Yeah, that's true. Bards. The bards. Oh, there's a little guy.
The forest shrinks a little more each day.
It does. Alright. Again, this here doesn't look too terrible, you know. Looks okay. Serviceable. But that's I don't, maybe you won't be able to explore it. Well, not explore it, but we'll probably end up going there. Alright, let's talk to this big tree thing.
It has been many a year since I last felt your presence, warrior of Gaia.
It's been nearly as long since anyone called me that.
Your cairn needs you, and the wild has need of your protection. The Eater of Souls is fighting with all his might to take control of it. And he is winning. The corruption
Eater of Souls is one of the
takes
heads of the worm.
many
There's 3 of them.
but the effects are always the same. You must help us fight back.
I mean, this doesn't give you any indication of what it is meant to do. Also, look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 other options. Again, it tells me that they initially wanted more dialogue, but I guess they nixed it.
Tarker's mill looks nothing like it did when I left. Yet you still protected the forest with everything you had. Your strength, your aura. What happened to them?
As Gaia weakens, so too do I. The Englings, the Jaglings,
Those are all
the Gafflings,
spirits of the wild.
They all suffer in kind. The Eater of Souls tries to corrupt them.
But they're minor spirits.
They are every bit as important as you or I. But in my weakness,
Not bad
I
design.
must look on, powerless to act as they disappear. Which is why we need your help. You must help me to combat the worm, to protect the wild.
I came back to find my daughter. Have you seen her?
Adana,
Oh.
a dear friend, and always respectful of nature. You fear for her safety, then? She, too, is fighting for Gaia in her own way. But do not worry. You both walk the same path. You will find each other in time. To fight your battles, you will need power.
Unlimited power.
Power I can provide by helping you develop your warrior gifts.
Thank you, Ifen.
You may find lost spirits during your travels. Return them to me, and I will be able to strengthen your natural
Please tell me this is like a new mechanic, not just sniffing potted
One
plants.
last request before you depart. Many of your kin fell in combat. I would ask you to bury them. You will find their bodies both inside and around the cairn. Your penumbra vision will show you the way.
Okay. Alright, sure.
Soothe their souls and send them to me, so that they may travel to the wild without being captured by the world.
Creative decisions on this.
I will if I can. But
Yeah,
my priority is Endron's
sorry
training
to be
center.
such a grump about it.
Weaken the forces
Just
of the
'cause
world,
how much I like the setting.
but never forget your brothers and sisters.
Your skill tree will be very helpful.
Gaia
It's kind of like that, you
needs
know,
you.
your penumbra vision. Your skill tree will help you move through the game. Alright, let's see.
I hope Rodko's changed his mind.
Can I talk to him again? Okay, so I can reset my skills.
Ceres, Gaia thanks you for your sacrifice. Now go. Ifen is waiting for you.
Save the forest, Cahal. Drive out the worm.
Alright, the problem I have with this system is it not just slows down the game, but it kind of just makes it extremely disjointed. It feels like you're playing two different things rather than being one integrated world system. Alright, because now I have to go around and do this. See that? This is what I have to do. It's kind of like the issue I had when I was playing the Batman games with the detective division. So now I'm gonna have to do this over and over. Okay, why can't I talk to him? It's not camera.
You deserve to rest at last, Magnus. Go to Ifen. He's waiting.
Ah, Cahal. It's good to see you, old friend. Take care of the cairn.
Alright, let's see, mission. Secondary objectives. There's gonna be one up here. Right? Yeah.
Kitamona, return to Ifen. The cairn is safe.
Man, they got wrecked by
Thank
just a
you,
bunch of folks
Cahal.
with guns. Like again,
Take care
in the
of those
game's
who remain.
actual systems, that wouldn't have been enough to do all this damage. That was the first, so that means there's 2 more. Huh. Alright. Ooh, I better not bump into Rodko. I'll be so angry. If it forces me to interact with him. This one here, right? This has gotta be one, right? No, that's just Kin. No one cares about Kin. Alright, and they're all gonna be down there, aren't they? You know, it's like you can do so much. You could have done so much with the exploration, traversal. Missed opportunity. I guess that's why I'm raging, like the namesake of the game. They really nailed that because the potential lost, right? Can I go down there? I can't go down there. That's alright, so I look for those little red sparkly things. That was the first. Or, you know, and that's kind of the problem now. It might not even be. And you can't zoom, so I can't tell if there's. I mean, there's a rock there. It looks like a rock spear of some sort, but. Jesus, people. Slamming doors. Where would the other spirits be? Can I climb up the ladder? No. Talk. Okay. That might be one. Oh, let's just. So there's a light shimmer. Plants. Gotta look for fallen bodies, I guess. Okay, this is her grave. But, no spirit there. What ones am I missing? Appease the spirits. I'm missing 2 of them. Also not a fan of single save slots. Games that do the single save slot stuff. Alright, I'm assuming the other two are going to be outside of this mess. Because I have checked every nook and cranny and I haven't seen anything.
I went to see Fenn. He's gotten so weak. Please, Rothko, let me help you. Let me deal with this training center.
Why is it that you care now, Cahal? We were so eager.
I want to help the
Okay,
pack.
so you can skip dialogue.
I want to
press
protect
B.
Adana.
But you don't intend to rejoin us.
I've already given into rage and killed one of our kin, Rodko. I can't
I'll
take the
let
risk
him
of doing
talk,
it
but I
again.
just wanted to check.
You already know I disagree. Nonetheless, we are united by those we mourn.
I feel like Cahal was
So I'll
influenced
accept your
by,
help.
what was that dragon one? Matthew McConaughey, because he looks pretty much...
Tell me about Ava.
How's
You
she
went into
doing?
exile. She succeeded you as my lieutenant.
Oh, wow.
She was ready and willing. It was hardly a smooth
Rain of Fire,
transition.
that was it.
I was
It's like they
forced
watched
to
Rain
make
of
some
Fire and they're like, yeah, let's go with that look.
I can imagine. There are a lot of humans in the cairn. A lot more than when I was here.
Ava's lamb to mankind.
I'd heard about her group of activists. They're actually getting a lot of attention.
What's the matter, you? Look at
Not sure
my
if that's the
arm,
best thing
move
for
a
the pack.
minute.
That's what I thought too, at first.
At first.
A lot of things have changed in the past. For the longest time, I never trusted humans. Even I had to admit that Ava was right.
They just talk
Humans
slow.
have been stalwart allies in our fight for Gaia. And now you've seen firsthand what Indran is doing to us. Our ranks grow thinner every year. Ava's humans unafraid to put their lives on the line for their planet. What more could I ask for?
Tell me about Adana.
Just as I promised you,
Made her into
I
a
told
warrior.
her everything she
fight
needed to fight to defend herself.
Repeat the tragedy.
Has she
Not
gotten to her first change yet?
Usually you...
Not yet. And despite all my training, she never showed much inclination toward
In their
the
teenage
wild side of
years.
things. She preferred to spend her time with Ava.
Though it's not
studying
unheard of
humans,
for
technology and
an
infiltration.
older person to go through the
walking
first
with Milla's
change. And it's
footsteps.
caused by traumatic events,
That's right.
usually.
No, it's not my way of
That's
doing
where they
things.
just get really angry.
It certainly paid off. She has proved to be
Normally.
an exceptional spy. Rest assured, though, Adana's just as much Garo.
Alright, so she's not kinfolk. His daughter.
So what can you tell me about this so-called training center?
Ava managed to get a hold of the mine blueprints to help, but the site's weak point is its power supply. The whole
Upgrade
thing is powered by
one
one
big
big
propane
propane tank.
I see.
Blow up the tank.
So
won't
if I
give
blow
in.
up the
Take
tank,
the
then we'll need explosives. You'll be...
I'm aware. I met your new friend. We've still got a problem, though. Huh. I don't like touching the stuff.
Perfect. So
take the explosives.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna probably skip through dialogue a lot. Let's see if this boots me down.
Dusk, my friend. I owe you one.
Alright, if I don't find...
Go, Fianna warrior, and survive.
Ah, okay. So that's what I thought.
Leandra, be at peace.
Thankfully.
I will protect
I mean,
you.
I didn't know.
And go to Ethan.
Of course, Cahal. I'm glad I got to see you. One last time.
So this is like a hub area. And each of these routes will open up to a different chapter or section of the game.
Iron Wind. Your struggle is over. Ethan is waiting for you.
Cahal, keep fighting. Protect the cairn for me.
And to answer any questions, the reason this Guru's in Lupus and that one's in Hamid, is when a Guru dies, they revert to their breed form, what they were born as. So, if you're born with from 2 werewolf parents, which is not generally frowned upon, it's heavily discouraged for a multitude of reasons, because their population's so low and metis are sterile, with the exception of one mythological aspect of it, which is the first metis. Yeah, you'll revert to what form you were born as. Alright, so I completed that, right? Go home. Now I go back to him. Let me go back to him. So it looks like there's kind of sort of side quests, but with the game being so on rail, it's not like you shouldn't miss anything, unless you're lazy like me. Well.
Thank you, Cahal, for returning your god. Now go.
By the worms. Right. Alright, gives me another spirit point. I'm going to hold off investing the points for now. Just because, we'll see what opens up. I kind of like to invest the points in games like this, where it's really not an RPG in the slightest. Just an action game. I like to have the points to adjust and be flexible on the fly.
They're currently recruiting at their training center.
Then, perhaps I need to enlist.
Alright, that's gonna drop me down, but where's the other way go? I'm guessing this is the way I'm supposed to go. Yeah, I hate vision modes like this because, again, I feel like I'm pigeonholed into constantly checking. A big group of those, yeah, that way.
No, not Iron Wind 2. What happened to him?
Fucking tank girl happened. Burst to the head point blank.
That is the same chick in the other area.
I told him we were going fishing tomorrow.
So they reused like the same 2 or 3 models for everyone.
Thanks for all your help during the attack.
Yep. Definitely looks it. The Mother Goddess Gaia is most ancient, most powerful of all spirits, and the Gaia birth to tribe. Others consider the Mother Goddess the fruit of the 3 cosmic groups. Gaia not only represents Earth, but the whole universe and the forces of life. Grew are the warriors of Gaia, created by watch over and wage the war that pits Gaia against the worm and its servants. Yeah, in the mythology of the setting, there's arguments amongst the tribes about their original role, and that they weren't actually the warriors at first. They only became the warriors when Worm got corrupted. Where is this? Is this a new area? No, this is that same area. Just opened up. So see, this is that same chick up there, almost exactly to a T, if not exactly to a T. Alright. Whoa. Wait, can I jump that? I wonder. I doubt it. We'll give it a good try. Woo. Nope. You're blocked. You don't get blocked. Something about recruiting. What's that over there? I think I know what that is. It's something I can get. It literally just goes to the same spot. There is no difference. So look, a different path that leads to the exact same area. Ah, man. Oh. Yeah. Walks freely around. Hey, why is that guy smelling plants? Up, up, up. Yeah. I wanted to add those jump notices that you get in some games. Hurt. Up. Yep. Nope. What in the heck is that supposed to be? You know what? I don't want to know.
You hear the internal motto around here?
The cost of the fine is always less than the cost of compliance.
You do not look like guards.
Bingo. Won't see that one in their ads.
Hello?
Oh.
This area's off limits. He's like ready to get for security.
I had no idea that's what was going to happen. Alright, let's last checkpoint this, because I want to see what saves, where it saves. You register, read. Okay. Try and play it stealthy. Okay, that's gonna be that. Did I at least complete the... Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna save it here now that I know where the last checkpoint is, and I'll just come back and smell the roses at a later point. So yeah, this is gonna be the second video in this game that I will be playing. Tuesdays and Thursdays is what I'm gonna allot it to film the time. It's a game, obviously not the worst I've played, probably one of the bigger disappointments for me so far, just because, again, my enjoyment of the setting, but you know what, I'll play through it, and then that way, you all can get some laughs, or if you were interested in maybe picking it up, it might, help you come to a decision on it, you know, but so far, I just... such a far cry from the potential of the setting, and honestly it feels like maybe they originally were intending. We'll see. Maybe more things will open up. Alright everyone, I appreciate you sticking with me. I also appreciate every single person who comments, likes, dislikes, subscribes, doesn't, you know, checks out my videos. Hope it provides you some enjoyment in the background, or if you're actively watching. Alright everyone, you have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. Take it easy.